o'clock. We are at the Public Safety Committee meeting. It's Thursday, March 13th. Can we have roll call, please?
Alderperson Haggett.
Here.
Alderperson Vanslo.
He is excused.
Alderperson Yakub.
Present. You've had a chance to read the minutes. I have as well. Is there any corrections, or do you want to make a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on. Discussion and possible action on Riverfront Run 5K, 10K, Saturday, September 13th, 2014 at 7:45 a.m., beginning and ending at Riverfront Athletic Club. Sure. Ladies, you're on. All right. Ignore John's phone. Don't trip.
Don't trip.
No.
City has no insurance. Go ahead.
Oh, no. All right.
Basically, exact same as last year, which was our first annual. We ended up having 115, I think, right around 115. This year, we're really excited because the Ronald McDonald House is partnering with us.
Good.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. So it helps do some promoting, and then also, again, after the race is covered, the costs are covered, then we donate to the Ronald McDonald House. So
Good. That's great.
Yeah.
So the route's the same. Everything's the same.
Everything's the same. Yeah, so we'll still need to get an officer at 2nd Street.
Second in St. Croix.
In
correct?
St. Croix.
Yeah.
Yep. And there was no issues that I'm aware of from last year. So.
All right, I'll move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You are approved.
Thank you.
We'll go to probably consent at the next council meeting. Usually these go on consent, which just means as a bulk we approve the consent agenda, and then it's done.
So we don't need to be present, or should
Present?
Be present?
Unless it doesn't go on consent. If it goes on consent, no. But if it doesn't, Marty can let you know. And
Just call me on the 24th, and
Okay.
I'll tell you if it's on consent.
yeah,
All right.
you'll be
All
good.
right. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, number 4, discussion and possible action on the 3rd annual Lessburg Memorial 5K Run Walk on May 21st, 2014 at 6 p.m. in Lakefront Park. You are on. Name and address.
Again, this is the same as last year and the year before. And what all do you need to know?
It's just, this is a chance for you just to advertise if you want, really.
Well, we it's a fundraiser for Operation Help the Source, and all the proceeds go to support the activities of Operation Help the Source, and have a good time every year.
Wonderful.
So,
And it's the same route, like we said, and
Yep.
everything is the same again. I
Yep.
make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And same goes for consent agenda for the next meeting, the council meeting, so you should be
need
okay.
to be there?
Just give me a call.
We'll let you, yeah.
Sure.
You're probably fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 5, discussion and possible action on traffic safety issue in the 400 block of Orange Street. Okay, John, you brought this to us. You want to talk?
After a fair amount of discussion, seems like the simplest solution is to make the alley one-way, going
Going which way?
south.
All right. Marty?
Yeah, I went and talked to the owners of the parking lot, and they had informed me that the mayor had gotten involved in this and had talked to the people, the water department personnel about driving in that alleyway. And so I had talked to him, and he said he was going to get a hold of you in regards to this, so obviously he did.
Which he did.
So,
Yep.
so we're just going to make a recommendation then to make it a one-way alley then?
Sure. If we want to make a motion on that, John,
Yeah, I'll move to make the alley one-way, going south.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Discussion and possible action on merge lane on westbound Cooley Road onto southbound Carmichael. Again, Alderperson Haggett, that is you.
At our last meeting, Marty was going to look at the safety data. Is that right?
Yep, we've had accidents at that slip lane, but they've been the rare and kind where people are not been paying attention to the person in front of them because they've been yielding. The one concern is that they have their own lane, but that lane they're going into is the turn lane to go to I-94. So if they were to take that yield out and they were to continue, they would still have to yield going across if they were going to go southbound on Carmichael Road.
Is there a yield sign there?
Yes.
Yes.
There is,
There is
okay.
a yield sign there. And I believe if we were going to take action against it, I think we might have to check with the DOT because that might be
Part of
their slip lane, part of the...
I'm pretty sure it's the same deal as the one on 11th and Hagen,
Right.
where the yield sign is what's mandated by the federal street laws that we found out.
Yeah.
You weren't on safety at the time, I don't think.
Right.
So I don't think there's much we can really do except have people
Right.
make smarter choices
Right.
when they drive.
And I know a lot of people stop at the yield sign, even when their traffic is not in that lane, but I think a lot of them are trying to get into that next lane.
Which
Or
is-
where I've seen people go is all the way over to the.
Right.
Right.
And
To
then
the
the
far
problem
left
is,
lane.
really, the problem is that it's too short of a drive. I mean, it's too short. People want to get there so quickly, and
It's
it's
a
like,
crossover lane.
yeah, and so you're
Okay.
just kind of. I get it though. I do, coming home every day from EP Rock, I suffer that turn lane. I sometimes go the other way because I don't want to deal with
Yeah,
all
it's,
the lights. So.
Okay, well, it looks like we've got what's already recommended. So.
And you know what? Right now, the state's looking at the Carmichael corridor as a whole, so I think between that and the possibility of whatever commercial is going in that corner, there's going to be some changes that are going to happen. If any commercial at all goes in, at some point it's going to happen. What goes in is
Right.
not part of this discussion. But even without that, the Carmichael corridor, I mean, I sit on that committee, and the state's been working on it to change up the whole corridor, so.
Right.
Well, they're looking at the 94 corridor because of all the traffic backed up on Crestview and
Right.
Carmichael. They're looking at
So
ways
it-
to alleviate it, so.
Yeah, it's going to change a lot, whether it's
Right.
different on-ramps, off-ramps, another overpass, so
Exactly.
I think we'll be okay. Time will tell.
So nothing to do with that then.
So we'll take no action, we'll just table it.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to table
I'll
that.
second it.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Discussion and possible action for a homecoming parade on Friday, September 26, 2014, at 4 p.m. from Myrtle Street, southbound 2nd Street to Cooley Road.
Correct. This is I can't remember how many times we've done it from this location. It's worked out good. The only year we had problems, obviously, was when the Stillwater Bridge
Yeah.
was down. That
And
ran
we
into a
weren't
little bit.
familiar, we weren't aware of that at the time when we
Yeah,
approved it. and-
right, exactly. But it hasn't been an issue. It's actually, because they moved the time back to 4 o'clock, they've gotten a lot more people downtown.
Yeah.
So I know they want to continue to do it, so my recommendation to the committee is that you approve it.
So here's my only question. Obviously, we'll approve it, but do we want it, or do we know of an alternative route that they can take if we were to get a notice of the bridge going down again? And with the construction of the new bridge, you never know when something's going to be closing.
Right. If they had to shut down, if you would have to bring it back up and say you can't use Second Street, my recommendation is that they would use First Street and go down to Lakefront Park.
So if
We
we
could
need,
shut it. We could shut them off at Buckeye Street. We could have them start at St. Croix Street down there by the end of Lakefront Park down there by the bridge. Have them all meet up there, and then they could march down First Street. That would be
okay.
the alternative.
So we'll reroute it if we need to.
if we need
have
to, correct.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve then the route as it stands, and leave the decision up to Marty if we need to reroute last minute, depending on what's going on in
Well,
Stillwater.
there might be other construction too downtown, isn't there? Some other things.
I think it's done in September, with the construction's in early spring.
Okay.
The
There's some-
Buckeye and
there's some
2nd Street?
water, main utility stuff that might
Oh,
be.
well, again,
We'll figure it out. We can.
it stands under the same motion.
It's
and,
September. I
Leave it
think
under
you're-
Marty,
Yeah. I think
leave it
you
under
can
Marty
but-
for
right.
discretion to move
I'll
it if we
second.
need to.
Right.
All's in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. EMS, Fire Department, Police Department
Nope,
update.
missed one.
Whoopsie daisy.
Number 8.
MS Walk.
Oh, yes, that came later.
Yeah, we
Yep.
just got that.
Sorry. Can someone read that, the sheet? Is there I don't have it in front of me.
Basically, this is the 2014 MS Walk. I can't remember how many years this has been. This has got to be almost 10 years, if not
Forever.
longer. Yep. It's the same route as it has been in the past. It's going to be on May 4th, 2014, which is a Sunday. They start and end at the middle school parking lot. They stay on the paths. They have volunteers that watch people all over the place. It's been a great event. We get a lot of people in town. So, and like I said, again, no issues with this event. We haven't had
Yeah,
any.
we've been approving this for years, so
Years,
I'll make
yep.
a motion to approve.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, EMS, Fire Department, Police Department updates. We'll start with Dave. He's been able to be quiet so far.
I'll be quiet here. We are in the spring of the year, so basically we again started the new year with inspections out in the township. Things are starting up, are going good for the first quarter inspections. Actually, the weather is for us, so we've had some nice weather to get out and about. Things are looking good out in the township. We've had very little new construction out there. It's still pretty much the same old stuff, so it's going good on that. We've had one group of kids through the fire hall for a little school tour here, and there'll be more of those coming through the fire hall for tour as we get closer to the end of school. It usually happens in May, April and May. It's a good activity for teachers to bring the kids out in the fire hall and let me play with them for an hour and let the teachers go out and have it. I enjoy it. It's a good time. So we'll have you'll see a lot of kids around the fire hall here towards the end of school. Last I heard, they are continuing the search and still looking for a fire chief replacement for Jim, who is now officially resigned. He's he stepped down to be a firefighter engineer, and the assistant chiefs are taking over the job as fire chief until they appoint one to replace me and him. So one person's going to do both jobs.
Have the applications not
Applications
met par?
are in, and I have not talked to Mr. Willie regarding that, and as far as I know.
They've tested already.
A few
The Police and
people.
Fire Commission is meeting on Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Yep, so it's in the process, it's going on,
Okay.
as far as I know, so.
For an EMS update, 1 second, Marty, Chief Eby has asked me to make a brief announcement. She's at a training. She's asked me to read that they are currently recruiting for casual paramedics. The deadline is Friday, March 28th. Packets are available with both the city administrator, EMS secretary, and she believes Karen at the public window, at the city hall reception window. They need to be turned into Devon on the second floor, again, by Friday, March 28th. She says, thank you. Marty, you're on.
Kate Porter started with our department on Tuesday. She's the newest officer. We had hired her to replace Mark Crimmins. Potter. I said Potter, didn't I?
Said
say
Porter.
I'm going to have her change her last name because I can't remember Potter or Porter. Potter.
You
Kate
can do it.
Potter.
You can do it.
Originally from Neilsville. She's moving here to Hudson, but again, she started on Tuesday. In the meantime, while hiring Kate, Officer Quevedo is no longer with our department, so we've had to replace him. I've offered the position to one of our part-timers. He's accepted. Hopefully he will start on March 31st. I don't want to give out his name until he starts, but we should have him up and running. I'm almost back to full strength. I only have one officer still out on family medical leave, and once we get these two officers up and running on their own, I should be able to move Officer Hall over to investigations and be able to help them out because they've been swamped quite a bit lately.
I bet.
And I want to give out kudos to Sergeants Willems and Schultz and the employees at the cash store. 2 weeks ago, they had called in on a Wednesday that they had seen a suspicious black male that had came into their business, made them real nervous, believed he might have been the gentleman that was doing the robberies in the area. Physical description matched, so we set up surveillance the next night, knowing his pattern, and he did come back at about 6:35. Our officers were able to take him down. We found evidence in the vehicle, and he's now been charged with our thefts with a warrant out of Minnesota. There will be more charges coming from New Richmond, Onalaska, La Crosse, and I believe Lakeville, Minnesota. So he's
That's
looking
great.
at quite a bit of time. So,
Well, you congratulate the
Franklin
whole
wasn't.
department, you guys work all together to get.
But they did an outstanding job. Sergeant Willems and Sergeant Schultz did the stakeout, and they were able to take this guy down without any incident whatsoever. So it worked out very well.
That's great.
So,
That's great.
yep, that's it.
And how are we doing on the camera search?
We hopefully by the end of this month we should be able to put out RFPs. I think we've taken a look at quite a few cameras. We kind of know what we're looking for, and we'll put that out, and then we'll sit once we get those RFPs in, we'll make our decision on what we're going to go with.
Okay.
My hope is that once we get the RFPs out and we take the order, we can get them in. I'm looking at sometime July, maybe June or July, we can get them in the cars and start using them part of the summer before
Great.
it's all gone.
And then passport parking.
Passport parking, I haven't got a hold of Brandon yet, but he's supposed to be getting back to me in regards to that contract to get to the city council.
Will we be able to get it up by April 1st?
I told him that was the goal, and he said, yeah, if we have to, we'll get it up.
Okay.
So,
All right. There's no informational items on here. Do we have items for future agendas?
I don't have anything.
Oh, anybody else? Nope. Nope. Motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second? All's in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.